Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vaishnavi Vaiti from Kirin Advisors. Welcome to the virtual roadshow of Studio LSD Limited. Today, we will provide a brief overview of the company and its innovative business model. Studio LSD Limited is a multimedia production house specializing in creating original captivating content. LSD stands for Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Durga. The company offers a comprehensive range of services, including concept development, casting, location scouting, set creation, and full production and post-production management. From management team, we have Mr. Pratik Sharma, promoter and managing director, and Mr. Parth Shah, promoter and whole-time director. Good evening, Pratik sir. Good evening, Parth sir.
Good
Welcome.
evening,
Hi,
Vaishnavi.
hi Vaishnavi. Good evening.
Hi.
From Corpus Advisors Private Limited, we have Ms. Neha Lilikar, manager. Good afternoon, Neha
Hi, good
ma'am.
evening. Good afternoon.
Now I hand over to Pratik sir to tell us the journey of the company. Over to you, sir.
Hi. So, guys, we started our company in the year 2017. Before that, both Parth and me, we were involved in the media sector. I was a part of Star India at that point of time and creating content for them for almost 7 years. I joined as an intern and left as a vice president in the year 2017. The core idea was that we are driving content, but I was not the one creating it. So seeing the value in content creation and having both the power and also the impact that we could create, we came up with the idea of starting our own company. Whereas Parth was a sound engineer, majorly involved in film production and creating sound for some really big shot movies. So both of us teamed up together in the year 2017 and decided to start our company, Studio LSD. We started with one show. The first show was Ek Divana Tha, and thereafter we have by far we have produced around 14 shows. And with every year, with every growing year, we started creating more and more content which is both in terms of quality and the impact that it is leaving for our audience. The core idea of getting into an IPO was to enhance our business experience. Next.
Okay, sir. Can we start with the company presentation?
Yes. So yeah, these are some of the shows that we have produced. We can proudly say that we have produced around 14 shows and 4 co-production shows in regional market. All our 14 shows have been by far one of the most talked about shows, starting from Ek Divana Tha, which was the first ever romantic thriller. Then we went on to produce the maximum number of Muslim social shows that we have produced. We have produced 3 shows. None of the production houses in India have produced 3 Muslim social show. And thereafter we produced our own franchisee, Behad 2, and going forward we will like to extend our franchisee ahead. We have had one of the longest running shows to our credit, that is Radha Mohan. Now currently we are producing Tumse Tum Tak, which has been a chartbuster since the launch. Abhi 4 हफ्ते ही हुए हैं launch को, लेकिन we have consistently been the slot leader, and despite being on the number 4 channel, we have managed to create a niche and an audience base for ourselves. So far all the shows have been differentiated in terms of not just content but the look and feel and presentation. Next. So our key business highlight has been from the year 2017, where we started with one show. Definitely, we increased our production base more strongly. We have not only then produced content for ourselves, but we have gone into ventures like where we have co-produced stuff. We have created our own edit studios. We have created our various genres that we have covered, from thriller to family drama to Saas Bahu Saga to romantic shows to horror shows. We have created everything, every form of content that is possible, barring comedy. And we have partnered with almost all the channels, the leading channels in the Hindi GEC market, and also regional channels in Marathi market. And we have by far received around 7 to 8 awards for our work. And as a content provider company, if we engage in any kind of content agreement with a channel, from starting to end, we deliver all the needed areas that are important for the content creation. Next. Yeah, so our vision is to definitely go forward and create more content, more impactful content, and also achieve some production excellence with which we can create greater impact both for effectiveness and efficiency of our company. Our mission is to not just be limited to say television, but to the OTT stream and create newer formats, which is like coming in form of micro dramas, 2 minute content, 2 minute storytelling, and all those things are a part of our vision. Also, we want to create our own infrastructure, because as inflation is growing, as the cost of production is growing, if we have our own infrastructure, we can cut down on our cost of production and increase our top line. Next. So this is majorly talks about our journey in 2017 when I started when we started our company. The first very show was Ek Divana Tha, which was the first ever horror romantic show. After that, we created a show for ZTV that was Manmohini, which is even now considered as one of the longest running supernatural show, horror show. It has 2 seasons, and we were supposed to have a third season, but due to COVID and the unforeseen impact of COVID, we had to shelve that. Bear 2 has been our own franchisee, and it has been one of the most successful shows of Sony TV. It has been revered as one of the most watched content and most differentiated character. It has been a show where, for the first time, a negative heroine was celebrated in a way that was never done before. After that, we did Dancing Queen, which was a reality show for Z Marathi, and it had some of the biggest names of Marathi industry. It was our first venture into non-fiction. Then we had Teri Meri Ek Jindagi, which was a musical romantic show, and usually we don't get into real music for a show, but with Teri Meri Ek Jindagi, we had created around 20 original songs for the platform. Then XOR Next was our venture into reality show again, but in a more youthful space, and it was for MTV. After that, we did Radha Mohan, which was one of the most successful shows of ZTV, which had the return of Shabir Aluwalia to ZTV after his successful heights on the other show. Then we did Shiv Shakti, which again was an extension of Radha Mohan. Then we created Rab Se Hai Dua. Suman Indori has been our collaboration with Colors TV. And so for going forward, we are creating other content for other platforms as well. Next. So these are the list of certain awards that we have received over the couple of years. This year, again, we have been nominated for Best Show, Best Production House, and Best Content Creation. And yeah, there are multiple awards other than this that we have got in smaller categories. But these are some major impactful awards that we have got over last few years. Next. That's our core team. So we have a bunch of people who are committed to the excellence of the product, and also it's a completely perfect blend of some very senior people and the youth. So when it comes to senior people, we have Mrs. Suman Sharma, who has a great experience of writing and content observation and strategy. She has been one of our core advisors. Then we have Parth, who understands both business and the creative side. Then we have Swati and Jagdish ji, who are giving us the business solutions that are needed to enhance and make our content more impactful and make the business run successfully. Next. So this is the entire service spectrum of our work, our core capabilities, or as we call it, our comprehensive working capabilities. So first, we initiate and ideate an idea, which is the part of our concept development thing. Then we start into the thing that where we start writing the script for it. Basic structure is ready. Then we take it to a platform, be it a channel or an OTT platform, and pitch it to them. Once it is approved, we get into the pre-production, wherein the line production parts come into play, and then we get into the core execution. We are now creating scripts for not only our own production house, but we are outsourcing scripts to other production house also, depending on their requirement, and channels also. There is a part that we have started where we have started to line produce for some really exciting ventures where we are just handling the production part because of our production capabilities. Then post production is also something, some service providing that we are doing for post production, where we are dealing with situations where a company comes to us with their own ready short content, and we do the post production for that, and then we are getting into distribution and marketing of the same as well. So in terms of content, anything and everything is provided by us as a company. Next slide, please. Again, it is an extension of the part of work that we do. Content creation and innovation is our core strength, and we believe and we invest a lot in that because that's what creates value for us. uh, Being a content driven company, we still keep in check our cost efficiency, because most of the time there is a problem that if you are the creator, you tend to ignore the factors that are concerning the production cost. We manage to keep a balance between both. We have a very audience centric approach that comes from the fact that we try and say stories that are relevant to the masses, and also cast people who would be accepted well worthy enough in the audience. In terms of technology, we are innovating with AI, creating our own green screen models where we can provide any kind of solutions to that, and we have shown sustainable growth year after year with this kind of a model. So that's what the creating value meets innovation meets great execution and cost effectiveness is what our entire business model stands for. Next slide, please. Again, it's an extension of what we just saw in the previous this thing, where our first part comes from, the major part of our business comes from commissioning based model, as it's zero risk model, where a channel gives us a show, and we execute it to the best of our capability, keeping both efficiency and effectiveness in mind, and optimizing the cost and increase our profits. Then we are trying to create IP oriented models where we have own the IP of our work that we do. And then we are trying to create studio infrastructure, because as the content market is growing, the need for studios is growing, and right now the industry is suffering with the dearth of good shooting spaces. And the newest venture that we have explored is the music segment, where we are trying to collaborate with great singers, including Mika and Jubin Nautiyal, and some real big names, Neil Kamal, and trying to create our own music label, because music has the highest reception in the content streaming stream also. So yeah, these are the business model that we are catering majorly to. Next slide, please. Again, this is a brief preview which I have already told in detail about the shows that we have produced so far. Next slide. This is the music thing that we are expanding with. Every month we are launching one or two songs, and we are extending it to a greater height with collaborating with some of the biggest names in the industry. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So these are the shows where we did not create the content, but we provided with our execution and our production expertise for these shows. And luckily, all the four shows have been great in terms of their brand value for the platforms. Next slide, please. That's our clientele: Sony, Star, Colors, Z, and TV, MTV, Z Marathi. All these channels we have collaborated with. Next slide. So yeah, that's our that clearly point by point explains our marketing strategy. We have had a great brand positioning for us as Studio LSD. Right now, we are a known name in the market. Anybody part of media, anybody and everybody who's a part of media knows us. We have not only, in terms of value proposition, we have not only limited ourselves to just creating content, but we have created value with our content. Like, people look at us as a respectable production company, and there will be a certain amount of quality that they expect from us. In terms of audience and broadcaster targeting, we have been present on all the prime channels, Hindi GEC channels, plus regional channels, and that we have managed to achieve by creating differentiated content, not being stuck in one genre. We have we have amplified our bandwidth by collaborating with some great writers and directors, where we expand our execution capabilities and storytelling capacity that help us also reach to a larger audience. Where comes the distribution strategy, right? So we collaborate with a particular kind of content, we collaborate with a particular channel and expand our vision with that channel. And yes, we have an competitive advantage over our peers in our competition, just by the virtue of we create content that is differentiated. Next slide. That's majorly about how we are using information technology in powering our production capabilities, and trying to drive innovation through all the available means, right? We have started integrating AI into our content creation. We have started to create visual effects. We want to eventually create a VFX studio for ourselves and the company. We are going completely digital in terms of our operational background also. So everything is cloud based, everything is one click and you get the entire information about where we are shooting, what we are shooting, and how we are expanding it. Next slide, please.
Industry.
So this is like a complete overview of the industry, media industry especially. As you know, media is one of the fastest growing sector, and it gets impacted by market factor, but most of the time we have been resistant enough, the media industry has been resistant enough to the change in market. And the great part about our work is, be it celebrations, festivals, or recession or anything, the media, the content consumption never goes down. In fact, with any kind of negativity in the overall market, media market grows. Next slide, please.
So this is about the Indian M&E sector projected growth. So the projected growth for coming years will be at the scale of around 10.2%. And the market is increasing every day with digital and OTT coming into picture, with various music players and outside India, a lot of big players are coming into Indian entertainment market, and it is eventually bound to grow. With the numbers, you can just see it's an industry overview. India is soon going to become the largest M&E market, and by the speed they are approaching to become the number one player in the world. So it's not the day is not far when we will be the most high number of content producing nations across the world. So the key factors which are contributing towards the expansion of M&E sector in India are majorly the penetration of internet, which is increasing since last few years with good big players coming into picture. So internet is easily accessible to various sectors of India, which previously it was not that easy to access. And a surge of digital advertising, digital marketing, and a lot of influencers coming into picture, so that contributes a lot in content consumption and making your content reach to various places. In fact, various policies government is also changing every day, every few days, every few months. They are changing or enhancing their policies to promote content creation and companies who are doing business in media.
Next slide.
So that's our basic performance comparisons with our peers. So you can review that. But I would just like to mention we have been one of the most consistent players in the industry, with totally focusing on business growth and our numbers. Because creating a business in a sustainable business is in media is a big achievement which we are trying to do. And our biggest competitors are listed over here on the screen, and you can just compare the numbers and you will get an idea of that. So that's our growth in previous years. Of last 3 years, you can just check the growth. We have always been constantly increasing the business, and that is directly impacting on the PAT and PAT margins. And that's our whole key idea of making a sustainable business. These are the current ratios, EPS, turnover ratios, and everything. Next slide. So we are one of the only, not only, but we are one of the few companies in the industry who are totally debt free and a zero debt company in media sector. That's one of our achievement which we have made in last few years. Next slide. This is our P&L statement for last 3 years. Balance sheet, cash flow. These are the key highlights for the issue, which is opening on 18th of August. It will be closing on 20th of August. So object of the issue is majorly to create our own infrastructure, studio infrastructure, meeting our working capital requirements in our existing business. That's the main objective of the issue. So why? What differentiates us and our success is adapting innovation. We adapt to evolving technologies of media industry, adapt to content which is everyday changing, and being young, starting early in the industry adds on to the benefit of adapting all the innovations and evolving acceptance of content amongst all the viewers. So that is our one of the key best part or differentiator. What differentiate us from the entire industry. Our capabilities are skill to optimize budgets and production budgets across by using our own resources amongst all our projects. That differentiates us with the other people. And our strategic partnership amongst the industry players, amongst all big media companies, that is what gives us preference in presenting our content and syndicating. Diverse content portfolio doesn't restrict us to a certain kind of genre. We have so far developed content in various genres, and we'll be continuing to do so. So that's our strategy towards creating content and differentiating ourselves amongst the other industry players. Next slide.
So definitely, we have a future ready approach. Uh, Primarily, it comes from adaptation and the innovation that we are getting, both in terms of technology and content creation. Also, creating some very strategic partnerships where we can enhance our overall production capabilities, and also get into the space where we drive the content, we create the content, and we produce the content. All those things can be monitored in a more effective way, and which is more centralized, controlled thing. We are working towards the factor that we want to have a brand name like one of the key players in the market, that if somebody speaks of media, we should be synonym to that discussion. And yeah, driving creative differentiation is something that we are completely focused on.
And we are diversifying ourselves into various other fields as well related to media, which is studio business, which is music business, which is OTT, which is television and vertical dramas, micro dramas, line production opportunities for big films, and creating our own content relating to all these avenues. So that's our key diversification which we are doing right now. So our strength is definitely our team, which is consistent with us since the inception of company. We have made our own very strong production team. Who We have made our own SOPs, which are followed in a certain way, which lacks any kind of which is transparent, which lacks any kind of problems or which are created while working. And our diverse content portfolio is our definitely one of the key strengths. Weaknesses. Weaknesses are mentioned on the screen, and the dependency on platforms. So to reduce those dependency, we have already started creating our own content, so that will definitely reduce our dependency on other platforms.
Next slide.
That's our roadmap.
That's the roadmap that we are aiming at.
I think we have majorly covered all these pointers in our previous conversations.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you. Now we move forward to the question and answer session. I request all the participants to post their questions in the comment box. So first question is from Mr. Jay Shah. What would be the growth driver for next 3 years from the company standpoint?
So as we mentioned that going forward, we'll be getting into creating infrastructure for our own company. So that will be married with the content creation that we are doing that directly impacts with our revenues. So the cost of production will go down and the profitability and revenue sector will grow.
Okay. Next question. Nikhil, how do you see the role of AI, AR, and VR evolving in content production, and how is Studio LSD preparing for it?
So all the three things that you mentioned, Nikhil, AI, AR, and VR, that has to become an integral part of content creation. Right now, we are seeing the first ever animated movie created in India, that is Mahavatar Narsimha, crossing 100 CR in Indian box office. That itself speaks of the involvement of AI, AR, and VR that we are seeing around us, and how, as a company, we are trying to adapt with it. With this, is we have created our own AI team which is constantly working in terms of upgrading ourselves for content creation as well, and not only just for visual expertise but seeking the help of AI to create better scenes, better narratives, better storytelling. It There is no option but to adapt ourselves to these kind of growing technologies. Thank you. Next question.
It's from Shubham More. EBITDA margins have improved consistently. What are the main levels behind this margin expansion?
So major levels behind the margin expansions are definitely a few of our longest running shows, which were part of the previous years. And when we have like multiple shows running, so we can optimize the expenses in a much better way, which directly impacts the EBITDA margins. And going ahead in
Next
future,
question.
we'll create our own infrastructure. So that will also contribute to that margin because we'll have our own infrastructure to shoot the content which we are already making.
Okay. Next question. The company is debt free. How do you plan to balance growth investment without leveraging debt?
So growth investments are definitely majorly without leveraging debt. We'll be focusing on few contents which are commissioned, which is the most secure business in media and entertainment industry. So that will definitely, without leveraging the debt, it will be the most secure business, and we'll just be utilizing our working capital limits in that.
Okay. Next question. Vasudha Shenoy, the company has worked with major broadcasters like ZTV, Sony, and Colors. What factors have helped in building the sustaining and this relationship?
By providing great content that they expect, the quality, the storytelling, and also a hassle-free experience to deal with them. Thank you.
Deepika Chandra, with OTT platforms expected to surpass Hindi TV viewership in regional content, how are you aligning your offerings?
See, actually, OTT platforms are not surpassing Hindi television viewership. It's going hand in hand. On the OTT platform, be it Jio Hotstar or Z5, the major content consumption is coming through the original content aired on television. Like people watch original content on television, and with the kind of key perks that the OTT platforms are providing, like watch the show before it is broadcasted on the TV, telecasted on the TV, is adding up to the OTT platform consumption pattern. So yeah, we are going hand in hand with both the things. Our shows are simulcast on both TV and OTT at the same time, and there are some content that we are exclusively creating for the OTT space, be it the micro dramas or long format content for the OTT platforms. That's how we are being future ready to deal with both OTT and television consumption. Thank you.
कनेक्शन दे कंपनी कैसे इंश्योर करती है कि उसकी स्टोरी टेलिंग कॉम्पिटिटिव कंटेंट मार्केट में फ्रेश और रिलेवेंट बनी रहे?
With every show we try to create something that has not been seen on television, and if the story is the same, we try to create the visual experience that has not been seen on television. So that's a key factor in driving our expertise of providing differentiated content. Thank you.
Okay. Next question, Shruti Dowde. Your in-house creative and production capabilities are a major strength. How much of a competitive edge does this give you over outsourcing models?
So basically we have the creative control, and when you are in the creative stream where content is your core performance area, so that gives you full control. So if even there is a problem, say for instance a very lame example, but if an actor is not available with you to shoot for some varied reasons, because the content is driven by you, you can change the storyline, you can tweak the story, and that leaves your audience not feeling that okay, we are missing out on something. Thank you.
Next question. Shreya Desai, could you share how the revenue mix is distributed across the commission-based model, IP-owned model, music segment, and rental model?
So, as of the last numbers which are there, so it is entirely commission based. Almost more than 95% of the revenue is commission based, because music business and IPO model is very fresh. We have recently started around 4 5 months back, and the songs have just started releasing. So those numbers are not yet incorporated in the last figures, audited figures.
Okay. Next question. Mithilesh Yadav, are there plans to enter into web series or film production for direct to digital release?
Obviously we've already
This is
started with that. You'll start seeing the impact in next 1 year. We've already started with our OTT and direct to digital releases.
Okay. Next. Shantanu, the company has produced shows across multiple genres. How do you decide when genres to focus on in a given year?
How do you decide which genre to focus on? That completely depends on the audience need. So as demand and supply goes on, if there are too many Saas Bahu dramas, we will want to not do a Saas Bahu drama but focus on maybe a thriller or a more romantic show or maybe a supernatural show. If there is a dearth of say Saas Bahu dramas or a family drama, we will try and create that. So we try and map the market and accordingly produce content. Thank you.
Can you share more about your IP creation?
IP creation model is basically you invest the entire cost for creating a particular content, be it a 2 minute content or a 3 hour film or a 10 episode web series or 20 episode long format or 30 episode long format series. The entire cost has been put in by you. Okay, and you do the basic registrations from script to the technology that you are using in it. You register everything, and then once it is done, you put it out on a platform or on YouTube or any other medium. that can be consumed, and basis the consumption, the revenue flows into your this thing. You have to, before getting into an IP model, you have to weigh two factors. First is the cost of production, and also the returns that you expect from a certain amount of platform where you are going to put in your content.
And
Thank
it's a long-term monetization, which
Yeah.
will go on for lifetime.
Thank you.
Next question, Prathamesh Gandhi. Given 100% FDI in broadcasting and OTT, do you foresee foreign collaborations or investments in your projects?
Most certainly. Most certainly.
Okay. Next, Chirag Panchal. What strategic opportunities will the IPO unlock for Studio LSD in near term?
Create our own creation.
Anandi Mittal. The company has a strong track record in Hindi and regional content. What is the plan for further expansion into regional languages?
We are tapping other regional markets as well, be it Kannada, Telugu. We are getting into that spaces, and primarily to get fresher stories and more enhanced visual experience.
And with our music business, we have already started creating songs in regional languages. So we are coming up with original songs in 12 languages, including Hindi, which will tap all the regions across the nation. And that we've already started doing. So all our songs are being made in Hindi plus 11 other languages. Next question.
Next question. Nikhil, how significant is the rental model to overall profitability, and do you plan to expand third-party post-production services?
So, first of all, rental model will be a secondary thing for us, because our overall infrastructure, what we are planning to build, will be consumed by our own ongoing shows and ongoing projects. If if there is a scope of giving it on rental basis to someone else, then we'll think of it about in future. And expansion to third party post production services will definitely be a part of it on a later stage, when we are not being able to consume from our own content.
Okay.
And
Vani
that will
Ahuja, the
definitely
music
impact the
industry is
profitability. Projected to grow significantly better. So we see ourselves in one of the major key players, because of the evolving policies of all the platforms and distributors. Music industry will filter a lot of other players, and only focus on the main players who are sincerely creating good content and good songs, and genuinely creating it, because they've already started filtering the AI content, which is not originally created. So our focus is to collaborate with good big artists and create good content, which is like most important. And with the significant growth in music industry, we'll definitely see ourselves in one of the leading players of music industry in future.
okay. Next question. Shankar Verma, in the IP owned model, what is the average break-even period for a little?
So it is not defined. You cannot define it. It can be as soon as 1 month. It can be as far as one year or 2 years. So you cannot define it.
Next. Mithilesh Yadav, given your strong domestic presence, are there plans to distribute content internationally?
Most certainly, yes. We are planning to get into the international markets, be it Middle East or Europe or the US, UK. We are definitely trying to do that.
Okay. Next question. Prathamesh, the competition is intense in the TV and OTT content space. What will be your primary differentiation strategy over the next 3 years?
Being effective and efficient, both things needs to go hand in hand. So creating differentiated content and also optimizing the cost. That will be our key edge.
Okay. Next, Sumit Pawar. How does the company decide between taking on high volume projects versus high value niche projects?
Balancing both, because yes, you need a top line, at the same time you need to maintain the name.
Okay. Next question. Prathamesh Gandhi, your ROE and ROCE in financial year 25 are over 50%. How sustainable are these returns as you scale?
Sorry, I think we lost the connection.
Your ROE and ROCE in financial year 25 are over 50%. How sustainable are these returns as you scale?
So these will be definitely sustainable in future. So they will grow as per the standards and as per the company's growth, which has been in past.
Okay. Next. Kushal, how you deal with the piracy?
So we have our like the infrastructure which where we are doing our post production and the transferring of footage. So all this is already encrypted, and there is no scope where we leave a point that anything can be pirated. So we have our own internal platforms where we share the data and cannot be accessed by anyone else.
Okay. Next. Deepika Chandra, thank you for the great prompt answers.
Thank you.
Yash Mistry, all the best for the IPO. I think we
Thank
have
you.
covered most
Thank you so
of
much.
the questions. Thank you, Pratik sir. Thank you, Parth sir. Thank you, Neha ma'am. All the best for the
Thank you.
IPO.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.